I recorded this video about like 2 different times, basically trying to figure out the words of what I want to say about this whole thing, and it's been difficult. But I guess the way I want to go about this is obviously first talk about, Cory's new manga that he's dropping today, which is Monsters We Make, and just looking at the reception to it and looking at people kind of just going about it and how he's talking about the staff and how much work got put into it for the last 2 years and things of sort like that. It's good. Honestly, it's really very much something that I think anybody can easily appreciate. Something that people can really look forward to. And you can definitely tell that there is some love and passion behind this project that he's really been about, honestly, that he really been caring for. And that's great. And definitely there is things in here that you can easily tell that it takes a person that cares about story and lore to add all this stuff into it, like New Eden, which is the world, I guess, like the main city where things take place in, like New Eden, where it's like an easy place to live, no one's struggling, like the Garden of Eden. We know, we'd see the symbolisms, or we understand that, but when it comes down to it, the manga looks good, the characters pretty decently designed, honestly, or at least, for the standard that I would say Cory has. I mean, good overall, and I'm not trying to throw shade or anything, like, just like, just for me personally, that just kind of how I see. But when it comes down to it, though, it's not bad, honestly. If you're into horror and then you're into action as well, you're probably going to give this a read, and you might honestly and genuinely enjoy that shit, and that's perfectly fine, but then there's also parts of me that feels differently about this sort of discussion. Like, one part of me is just like, yeah, this is absolutely good, definitely Cory deserves where he is and where he is at and all that type of stuff, and this manga definitely looked like something that people will enjoy. And then there's a second part of me that's mainly negative, and it's just like, Cory got to this place and this is good, so why the hell aren't you there yet? And immediately I feel frustration. I do feel a bit of irritation, and there's a bit of jealousy that is definitely there. Not because I want exactly what he wants, but mainly because I also can feel that in some shape and form, where it's like, working your ass off for something and then trying to do it and then trying to make it the thing, that one main thing, only for it to not be that thing for you. Ultimately, within the span of the time I've been doing it, it's also been incredibly annoying and incredibly difficult. And it's not just the whole manga with Cory, it's literally with anything for me, right? And I'd rather be honest and tell you that, I feel this sort of way, versus, not saying anything, because that's kind of the point of me, I guess, putting out sometimes those type of videos where I talk about myself in a way, because it's the outlet where I get to basically kind of say what I want to say, And again, this ain't about, oh, Cory don't deserve what he had, because he absolutely does, right? He absolutely does. This manga hopefully will do well. But at the very same time, I can't help but to look at it in a perspective where it's like, damn, that should be me. Damn, that should be a place where it's like, there should be something that I should be doing where, right now, and I'm just not there. And why is that? And that's just something I can't help but to feel. And it's not just, again, with Cory's work, but it's also with just like content creation in general, because I look at things like the streamer awards or things like the YouTuber awards, which I didn't even know was happening like yesterday or whatever. And then, you have things of the sort of those type of natures where big content creators get together, or content creators just get together in general, and it's just like, man, how the hell am I not there yet, right? And I'm not trying to come off as like, wanting to be like, this is my shit, this is my thing, I should be top row, center, front, first, like the absolute G, and then just be there. Like, I'm not trying to be on that type of time, and that's not what I'm looking for, but it's like, I would like to be in that position too, and especially as someone that's been doing this for 5+ years, trying to, make things happen, make things shake. Things ain't been happening, and things ain't been shaking, obviously, right? And it's not just me trying to be like, oh, what I've done so far hasn't been good, because let's be honest, getting 3,000+ people to see me, see what this whole channel is, and actually take a chance is impressive. Lot like, let's keep it a stack. The average person probably isn't even gonna meet realistically 3,000 people and actually just be around them all the time, you know? That's not gonna happen. But having this for this channel, this is impressive. But at the same time, I already know there's people way up and higher than me, way up and higher in levels I haven't even seen, I haven't even recognized or even experienced yet. And that's something that I've been trying to fight to get to, and it's been a uphill battle in every which direction, and it does not matter how much I fight to do so. It just is what it is. And especially when it comes down to writing, scripting, and telling stories, I can't help but to feel that even more so when it comes down to this manga that he's producing. And then I look at something as my own JSX4 series and just look at that, and I can't help but to feel like, man, this shit is mad difficult to kind of just grasp for me, right? And the thing is too, it's just like looking at my own stuff and looking at, I guess, the people that has watched it, has like consumed it in a way, it's good, right? Because it's like, there's been fan art I've seen and I appreciate, and it's just been absolutely glorious to kind of see that. But then I know that's not just where it all ends and where it all goes and all that type of stuff as well. And just kind of just seeing how people kind of just engage with his work and his manga and things of sort like that, I just can't help but to feel that part of, you know, like, I want to be there too, right? And this ain't the first time Cory done something that's like made me feel this way. When he did the whole Bruce Lee Foundation collaboration and stuff like that, that what made me want to be like, dang, I need to, you know, actually get this content going better than what it is and stuff like that. That's where that drive comes from. There's also like the Otaku versus Oda-chan anime that, you know, they have, that also makes me feel like, dang, I need to push this out harder and be, you know, going in a, I guess, stronger direction of the channel and things of sort like that. But it's been difficult because obviously I don't want to just do one single thing and then just stay with that one single thing. There's plenty of things I like to talk about, do, and have and whatever that just doesn't play by YouTube's rules. Obviously it really doesn't. There's plenty of times where, you know, I've done plenty of other things and it's not like a single thing, and that's what kind of hard to define about this channel, is that the channel is just a bunch of things related to anime, gaming, and, you know, stuff of the sort like that. And it's just not something that is traditionally one thing, right? But then when you look at everybody else, it's also kind of is that same boat to be the one thing, and then they kind of do that, but then even then you don't know if that's going to work out for you or not and stuff like that, right? And it's kind of just, overall it just kind of is hard to kind of really sit here and think about, you know. And again, going back to like JSX4, for me personally, it's a story that I do believe in. Sure, there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens in it. There's a lot of, you know, looter content when it comes to it, but there's things that happen for a reason in that story. Stuff I haven't really got to yet, but still stuff that happens for a reason. And it's just like, I know that with the ideas that I have personally, there is something there that I know people could grasp at in some shape or form. It just comes down to when and will, and, you know, will that day happen and stuff like that. And that's like the biggest thing, because let's keep it very much sad. Cory was, or at least was, in a position similar to this as well, because it was just like, you know what, before FNAF he had all that to kind of, you know, think about and deal with, right? Granted, it was much easier on YouTube back then, but still, you had that to kind of deal with. And then at the very same time, when FNAF came through, changed everything, basically got him to where he is. And then obviously him being honest and being who he is also a very, you know, easy thing to kind of see, like, yeah, this is exactly how he got to where he is, and very much, again, deserved that position. But then at the same time, when I have to look at myself, I don't know if I obviously haven't reached that, and it's just like a whole nother thing too, right? And then on top of trying to do Kakatsu, there's obviously other videos I do, which is why you get Kakatsu just once a month when I can do it. And then there's also like IRL stuff as well, with money and things of sort like that, other responsibilities. Like, it's just been an uphill battle again. And really looking at the perspective that you probably don't really have when it comes to it, because I never really said this until now, but there's a lot of sacrifices I have done doing this channel, trying to chase this hunt for 5 plus years. There has been friends I've used to talk to, and it's not because, oh, they're bad people or anything like that. They're good people. It's just the fact that I haven't communicated with any people I have met in real life for 5 plus years, essentially. You know, because I've been trying to chase this content creation bag for so long, and now essentially I'm by my damn self, right? Trying to come up with content, trying to come up with ideas and things of sort like that. And that just kind of been my life for the last 5 plus years, essentially, right? Because I solely believe that this thing can work. It's just when will it work and how and all that type of stuff. And that's really the sauce that kind of has been in my brain for like a good ass minute, you know? So essentially, everything you've been seeing is just me being consistent with it for 5 plus years and doing this shit all alone, because I don't have help to keep up with the stuff. I don't have help to, you know, look back at old episodes of my own, you know, JSX4 series or old videos and stuff. Like, everything you've seen on this channel is just straight me doing what I do, and that's just essentially how it is. But it's just been, again, a battle like that, and that's just kind of how it always been, you know? And especially with, you know, JSX4 and the series of that, because I've been trying my hardest to make that something that somebody can care for, you know? And that's why I've been adding like sound effects to the different episodes recently, while I've been adding like different music to, you know, certain moments of the story where it's needed, where I've been also been trying to, you know, I guess like add little moments where I get to talk about characters and their stories and their backgrounds a little bit at certain points in times, and just general things like that. Even going as far as making a whole ass opening for the current arc when I get the chance to go back to writing about it, right? And there's just so much about that, right? And I don't necessarily think for 5 seconds that people don't care for my girls, because they absolutely do. I've seen you guys do. I've seen fan art of you guys giving a crap about Blue and Symphony and, you know, Shion and stuff of the sort like that. I've seen it, and it's just been absolutely good, and it's nice to see that, right? But again, I also have to realize I'm not in that position where higher up in general, where I can see that actually being like a big thing. I would like to see that to be a big thing, especially with the original characters, honestly, because it's easy to take the characters within that series and, you know, look at it from a parody perspective, like a Kaneko or a Lamine or a Junko or whatever. But it's even harder to get people to care for original characters, original takes and stuff like that, and things of sort like that. You know, it's hard to do that. And that's something I've been trying to figure out. What is a way to get these girls to be within the minds of you guys as well? And that's just something I've been thinking about too. Why I drew Totsuki yesterday instead of drawing just a random character that already exists. Because I want to push out my girls and my characters and my story much more than just, you know, something that already exists. Something that already got their own bits and lore and stuff like that. You know? And that's just kind of how I've been feeling too. So there is definitely that. There's a lot of stuff I've been feeling regarding this, but definitely when I see other people succeed and actually be able to reach the places that they want to reach and things of sort like that, I do feel a bit of annoyance. I won't lie. And it's not because, again, oh, they don't deserve it, but it's more so just like, I wish I was there already, because this has been a 5+ year chase and I still haven't had really anything to truthfully in a higher way to show for it, essentially, especially in real life, because it's just been the same story every year since I tried to do this, and that's just kind of how it is, you know? And it's just been an absolute annoyance as time goes on, and it's just like, is this year gonna be different? No? Okay. Is this year gonna be different? No? Okay. Is this year gonna be different? Same story. Okay. And that's just kind of how it's been. So obviously when I see someone that's doing better, I obviously and immediately kind of get frustrated, because I have to look at my own thing and try to hard focus on that and try to see if I can do something to get people's attention with that in some shape and form. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it hasn't worked overall, and that's the main thing too, right? It's just a lot of things that goes into this, right? It just is. And it just leaves me with nothing but frustration, annoyance, and at the same time also just motivation to just push myself to be like, we gotta do something. Something has to give within all this because it doesn't make sense, right? And at the very same time, there has to be sauce here because there's obviously people that do genuinely care for these girls and for these characters and for this channel overall. Because, and I think I said this before, I want to be a channel that somebody can look at and kind of just easily see that, oh, this person's being honest, and there is definitely, you know, opinions that is flying over here that comes straight from the brain, basically just like, you know, genuine opinions and stuff like that. And then at the very same time, look at this channel to be honestly a piece of hope for people that has been doing their own thing, trying to do their own thing, or essentially maybe not necessarily having much to, I guess, fight for. And hopefully if I were to ever blow up, and when that day does come, you know, you might come through and be like, if he can do it, his bum ass can actually do it. He can actually bring something to the table. Then there's something out there for me too. There gotta be, because it doesn't make sense for all these evil ass people as well, these content creators as well, that we have seen this damn year come through, actually get some type of successes and some type of comebacks and stuff like that. They get what they get, and then people like you or myself or anybody else that's out there that's equally deserving is like, oh, but we can't get our shit. Something ain't right here. So there is definitely a fight on that spectrum as well. But overall, again, I'm not making this video to be like, oh, again, the whole Monsters We Make manga that Cory is making definitely doesn't deserve to be where it is, because it absolutely does. It's more so the frustration on my part and how much I just want to actually make this channel work, how much I want to make this, you know, series of JX4 work, so I can actually jump into the real series of what I want to do with Saki and them and her own universe and things like that, right? But again, that comes with a lot of, you know, what ifs, and I guess a lot of wins and stuff like that too, because all it takes, and as we've seen recently, especially with like Osmongold helping out people when it comes to reacting to their videos and such like that, all it takes is just one person, one big dude to come through, and then you win. You basically win the lottery for a good bit of time, and it's up to you to maintain that. And that's something I really want to see, whether it's the algorithm or a big content creator or whatever. I am just so ready for that to happen, and it's just been a fight to see that. The big question again comes down to when, and I just don't know. But yeah, I guess that's all I really wanted to say for this one, because as someone that also writes, draws, and, you know, does stuff too, I would like one of my stories, or at least my characters, to actually matter to people and actually be something that people can look at and understand why they are the way they are and feel the way they are, and just kind of treat them like other characters too, because there's some sauce in them too that even goes beyond me in some shape and form, and that's just kind of how it is. But you know, I would like to see them basically be having that same love and attention and care like Kingdom Hearts does, or like Genshin does, or things of sort like that. They are valuable. I feel like they are definitely within those spectrums that they can reach, you know, and that's just personally how I feel. But again, that's really what I want to say for this one. This might come off as just me complaining, or come back as me being petty, or what the hell ever, but that's just kind of how I feel, and that's just how it is for me. But still, hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification for out. Also follow my socials, and if you like on the channel, Kofi and Cash App as well. And until then, it's boy Dre, sign off. Have a blessed day.